perfect for when you sew it up. Now this chicken came with giblets, so I'm taking these out. Okay, guys. So I wanted to tell you, I'll show you. We already made our rice. Okay, this is with langostino tails. Okay, they're pretty hard to find, but I'm sure you can find them if you look hard enough. We got ours at Walmart, and so yeah, we did the rice, cooked it about halfway. Then I added my seafood. You can make any kind of rice you want. You can make plain rice, jollof rice, dirty rice, jambalaya. There's all kinds of options you can use. This is a boning knife. Very different compared to a chef knife. Well, actually, this is a cake knife, but I like it. I mean, it works just as good as a chef knife. This is a chef knife. I know it's got some stains, but yeah. Anyway, boning knife is pretty much used for deboning. It's called boning, but you actually use it to debone, to remove bone. So that's what we're gonna use to take these out. So you just neatly work around the bones. As you can see, it goes through. The cut is very sharp, and it can get into tight spaces. But yeah, you just slowly work your way through the bone. Okay, it's a delicate process. It takes some experience, or just not really experience, but just you just be willing to learn. Okay, as you go. So this is how much bones we've taken out so far. It might look gory. Sorry to gross anybody out, but these are all the chicken bones we've taken out so far. We have the drumsticks still intact, the bones still intact. Still contemplating whether I'm going to leave them in or not for time purposes. Yeah, so see you on the next one. All right, before I do anything else, I just wanted to show y'all that my wife hooked me up with this badass Chef Tim cutting board for my birthday, and she's playing cameraman. Hopefully this doesn't mess up, but yeah, she was far too kind to get me that. So anyway, let's get on with this. We've removed all the bones. I'm just gonna take off, the extra fat. We had a chicken in the freezer, so that's just what I used. If I was to do this recipe again for you, we usually use like the smaller hens. Okay, that's what's best for this. The lean ones, you don't want too much fat or extra moisture going on, and we'll get more into moisture later. So as I was saying, moisture is gonna play a key role throughout. It's gonna be really important to try to keep the moisture down. I mean, you want the chicken to be moist and stuff, but we'll get into it more into moisture later. But yeah, that's why I'm cutting the fat off. Okay, so I've deboned this part so far, just to show you this is how you use a boning knife. Stay close to the bone. Be careful not to cut yourself with this, because I mean it is extra sharp because it's so thin and yeah, it's a lovely knife, but it's very dangerous too. So be careful. Right, you just stay close to the bone and go down. Bang. Drumsticks out. Okay, this is what they look like. But we got them out. We took out all the bones. We took out the spine, the back, the thigh bones, and we left just the wings inside. Okay, and this is what it looks like. All the breast meat and all that. So yeah, next thing is to stuff this baby up. All right, and just starting the stuffing process here. This is seafood, langostino tails, and I put some green onion and some spices in it too, and garlic. I'll pack it down in there, especially in these drumstick holes. Those bones, the drumstick bones, are pretty big. They leave a pretty big space in there. Surprisingly big. Just patting it down, making sure that I use as much of the rice as possible. I made a small pot because you don't want to make a big old pot. Look how, maybe point this up. Look how small the pot is. It's my smallest pot in the whole kitchen. And I mean, you don't really need that much. I mean, unless you're gonna make like 2 or 3 of these stuffed chickens at the same time, you don't need that much rice because there's all this chicken bread, there's all this meat in there. So yeah. It smells so good, this rice. Alright, so this is what it looks like with about half the pot of rice in it. So as you can see, there's a bit more space I can use to make it nice and plump. Again, you want to use, okay, you only make like a small pot, but the thing is, you don't want to have leftover because the rice is half cooked. Yeah, it's not cooked all the way through, so you don't want to make a lot of like half cooked rice. That's the other thing. You waste your seafood and all the ingredients that you might use. So taking those bones out leaves a lot of space in this chicken. All right, and this is just some leftover extra chicken that I cut out because I wanted to create some space inside. So I mean, you can make like, I'm just gonna probably poach it and make some sandwich meat out of it, chicken salad. Okay, but this is what it looks like before we close it on up. Okay, so I went ahead and sewed it up a little bit. Just gave it some stitches. I mean, there's different ways you can do this. Okay, you can use a needle and wind your way up. But I prefer to do it this way. It's just a personal thing, personal choice, really. It doesn't really matter how you do it, but you just got to close it up. And, yeah, so we're about to season this baby up and then throw her in the oven. baked the chicken at 375 for about an hour and 20 minutes. It doesn't take that long to bake because, of course, there's no bones in it. Okay, here's the rice. Okay, it will burst open because the rice expands. There's a lot of chemical activity inside, so there's that. But don't be alarmed because you will cut it anyway. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions in the comments.